everyone, I'm Nina Zeta, Director of Partnerships at Sidewalker Daily, and today I'm going to talk to you about social media reports and what goes into them. So for those of you who don't know me, I work on both the brand side and the influencer side. My brand clients are hotels, tours and boards, travel brands that are looking to work with influencers. So I organize all that. And then I also have a influencer community with my business partner on Instagram, which is Sidewalker Daily. So we started off as influencers, and so we have experience on both sides. And the reason I want to talk to you guys about social media reports is because it's the inner MBA in me, the inner marketing geek, but on the brand side, we have to do them for our clients. And there's a reason that, you guys should also be doing them. There's many, and I'm going to go into this video, but for one, they almost act as mini case studies for yourself. If you're going on a trip, if you're working with a brand, if you're staying at a hotel or doing a tourism board trip, and you're actively looking to work with more, doing a social media report and taking the time is really just another way of saying case study. And now you actually show your value and you're showing brands what you can accomplish. From the brand side, when I get an influencer that gives me a social media report versus a bunch of screenshots on WhatsApp or a bunch of, just making my life more difficult, if I have more work to do, again, I'm willing to do it, and I know it's part of my job description, but when I get an influencer that does it for me, it's not the lazy in me. It's almost wow, look how professional they are. Look at how they are showing the ROI on, the return on investment of working with them. It sets them apart because people who take time to do social media reports are people that I want to work with again, because I know that they treat their blog, their brand, their influence as a brand. And those are the people that really stand out. So when it comes to social media report, this is something you probably should have done before you gone on the trip. But it's really finding out the brand's, their objectives. So what they call them is their KPI, key performance indicators. What is the purpose of working with you? Because then if they're all about engagement, or they're trying to create content for their social, or whatever, drive bookings, whatever their objectives are, that can help you be a more efficient worker when you're, on the campaign, but also to include it in your report. You're definitely going to want to start off by including the objective, what it was that the client came to you for. So I always say, if you over delivered, which chances are you did, because I know most influencers that I work with always go above and beyond, put that in there. So let's just say you were only required to do 5 Instagram posts, but you ended up doing 5 Instagram posts, 30 stories, a blog post, or whatever it is that you ended up doing because you needed the content for yourself anyways, include it. And I like to see it as required, delivered. So required would have been maybe 5, delivered would end up being 30. And count each story as an individual, even if you don't mention them in the story, but it's at the property, you should definitely include that. And everything on social media reports too, it looks better when you do a cumulative sum. So you add everything up. So if you're total assets delivered equals 30, you're basically adding up everything that you've done and hand it over to them. So when it comes to what to include, obviously the metrics you're going to want to do, you're going to want to include your numbers. So I'm a little bit geeky, and if I like Excel, I would suggest, there's Google Sheets. It's a way to keep you guys organized too, and it does the math really easy. If you actually put in an Excel spreadsheet and you put in all the pieces of info that you delivered, and maybe you put likes, put comments, and then you can add it up. So yes, maybe each photo got 1,500 likes, but when you add it up, it came up to 20,000 or something. Then you can show, what I was saying before, the cumulative engagements or the cumulative impressions. And if you have Instagram for business, you can see your impressions and you can add up all those too. So get a spreadsheet going, put your impressions, put your engagements, put all the numbers that you think, the clicks, how many clicks did that story get? If you got maybe 30 clicks per story or swipe ups, and you add all those up, that ends up being a really better rounded number than just using the individual ones. So Excel is your friend and metrics are your friend, and the more that you can show, the better. Also, if your content is alive somewhere, include the link. If you're putting all the links as well in this spreadsheet, where the client can just click to go see that post. I know with stories you can't do that. If you create like a Dropbox folder and put all the stories in there, that's going above and beyond. But again, like imagine how valuable you are now becoming to the client. If you save all your stories, drop them into a Dropbox and send me the link and have it as like, this is where all my stories are. And I can literally like go in and see them. Even if it doesn't have the analytics, I'm like, wow, like this human is killing it. And it allows you to save your stories. Another thing is if you don't have Instagram for business, then you need to screenshot your analytics for your stories. If you have it, then I think you get it up to 2 weeks. But we need to see those analytics. Story analytics are one of the most powerful like tools. I was talking to another influencer and we're like, yeah, stories are kind of like live TV. I mean, this girl gets like 70,000 views per story. So can you imagine if she did like, I don't know, let's just say she gets 100,000 views a story. If she does like 10 stories, that's already 1 million views. That's insane. And the client was definitely not paying extra for that. So building yourself up, adding up all the numbers, and including screenshots, definitely include screenshots. Screenshots are your friend, and save them. And of course, the more organized you can be in your report, the better. This can be like in a folder. You can include the screenshots in a Canva or a Google presentation. The format's really up to you. Make it look nice. It's important that it looks like visually like cohesive. If it's just a spreadsheet that has everything and then a Dropbox folder, that's fine too. I end up having to take that information and making like a nice presentation to send to my client. You may as well put in the extra time to make a Canva out of it just for yourself, because it's now your own case study, and it shows your work. Of course, for the case study, you don't need to include everything that you would in a social media report, but you should definitely include like the best part of it. And another example, because we were talking about metrics, was if you get 15,000 views a story, let's just say, and 300 people swipe up, that's a 33% conversion rate. And you should highlight that rather than having someone like me on the brand side or their PR side who may not be thinking that way. It's up to you to be like, this is my value. And that 33% conversion, again, is a number that you can use when you're pitching in the future. So you're not only doing it for them, you're doing it to find out like, hey, what is my influence? What are people actually interested in? Do they actually swipe up when I ask them to? Another thing I think people forget to include in their social media report is the power of reshares. Now, Sidewalker Daily, we're a reshare community, but our posts sometimes will get 4,000 likes. So if I post a photo that you are paid to do, you should be including my numbers in your report. And it's probably not just me that's reposting you. I'm sure you're getting reposted by other accounts as well. If you get a reshare on a big account or even small account, include it into that initial number we talked about in terms of required and delivered. Make a slide on just reshare accounts, or on Excel, make like a separate section, reshare accounts, and include all the links of everyone that reshared you, all the likes that they have, all the comments, and add it up, because maybe your reshares are more powerful than your own, your own numbers. I see reshare accounts that get hundreds of thousands of likes, and maybe your account only gets like a few thousand, but now, I don't know, Beautiful Destinations or another huge account reshared you. Definitely include that in your report as well as your case study. You see how they go hand in hand? Like a case study is kind of just like the report. You need this info, and brands are going to be stoked. And don't worry, if this sort of stuff happened after you already sent your report in, it doesn't matter. Send it to them after as a way to like touch base again. I think that's also something influencers forget to do, is like touch base, keep in contact. Hey, how's it going? Because you never know what new clients that person may be working with. So resend that info, even if it comes after you sent in your report. One other piece of useful advice that you can include in your social media report for the person on the brand side is some useful feedback. Let's just say it rained your whole trip. that's important for someone like us to know. Like, we are sending so many people on different trips. We may not realize, like, hey, it was raining so the entire trip, that's why she wasn't able to get as much as outdoor shots. Include that, and let the client know, like, in an overall recap, summary, changes that had to be made to the itinerary. Maybe something, got canceled because of weather or an unforeseen circumstance. Include that information. It's in writing too, and it kind of shows, like, hey, this is why maybe you weren't able to deliver, or why things turned out the way they did, or why the content is this, that, the other, because of something that happened. And also, if the feedback is negative, this is where, the professionalism and the tone and all those things matter. So rather than saying, like, I wasn't able to get the shot because, or I wasn't able to post often because Wi-Fi was, like, just really not good, you can rephrase that and just being like, due to the limited Wi-Fi in the bedrooms, I was unable to connect with my audience as much as I would like. And having that piece of feedback helps the brand, the influencer, not the influencer, the brand, the PR person, or whoever it is that you are, reporting to, understand, like, a hurdle. You're actually, there you go. You're being useful. You're saying, I'm trying to help you. So for on your next trip, you understand, like, Wi-Fi was a problem. And here are maybe ways to fix it, or, let them come up with the solution, but at least you're stating it in a professional, constructive way. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, useful. I know a lot of my students are often asking me about social media, reports or press trip recaps. They're one and the same, just kind of like something that they can create. What should they put in it? Remember that this is your business. This is what you're being paid to do. This is what you want to do. This is why you quit your job to hustle on this. Going above and beyond, taking some time to do the things that you may not want to do, or even hiring a virtual assistant to do it for you. If you don't want to do it, that's fine, and you have, like, a small budget to play with, go on Upwork and get someone to help you. I mean, they can probably put this report together, someone that everyone has their strengths, and I can't expect you to be an amazing videographer and someone that's also super analytical and doing reports. If you can, kudos to you, but if you can't, reach out and get that support so that someone can, do that work for you. And of course, if you need someone to glaze it over, give you some feedback, we provide one-on-one coaching. You could talk to me directly. I'll include the link to that also at the bottom. Hope this video was useful. If you like it, if you want us to make more videos like this, or if you have comments on ways that I can, other video topics, leave them in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.